Hello there, Mr. Cack here with Rage You Nerds, and I'm here to let you know that in this Duke Hut, there is no fapping. That's right, we're gonna watch the trailer and react to the trailer for Borderlands. Let's do this. Alright. I am glad that Jamie Lee Curtis is Tannis. I don't know how I feel about Cate Blanchett being, Lilith.
Would you look at that? A ladder! Unfortunately, my design doesn't facilitate this type of...
His steps and stairs and ladders are his weakness.
Destiny awaits.
I think Jack Black as Claptrap, even though I would have preferred Claptrap's original voice, is a good voice casting.
And if you go hunting for it, you better take any help you can get. Because it's on the weirdest, most dangerous dumpster fire.
I hope they have. I hope they use lines straight from the game.
What is that smell?
Piss wash gullet.
Ew!
Put the window up.
I don't want to! Roll the window up!
Roll it up. It's Pete. It's Pete. Why do you think it's called piss wash? How did it get the name?
It's in my mouth!
I feel like Tiny Tina should be more chaotic. Maybe she is. Ooh, that was a nice use of the infinity pistol.
Do you know how many people have died?
I like that. I like when you adapt actual things from the game.
Baby girl.
Okay. What?
Major issues. Time to make it rain! With your body parts!
Okay, that's more Tiny Tina. That's more Tiny Tina. I can get behind that.
Minimal explosions!
I said no explosions.
Claptrap's gonna steal the show.
Ooh, mine's bigger.
I mean, Tannis might steal the show.
You asked for it.
There's only one of you in the world, and you're special.
Uh-oh.
Kill them all.
Oh no! Hey, Moxie! Oh no! Ooh, I'm interested to see what the Vault Guardian's gonna look like, and which Vault Guardian we get.
I'm expelling the excess lead. I can't go if you're looking at me. Ooh, actually, scrap that. I can't.
Yeah, Claptrap might be a...
Can. Actually, it's helping.
Are we really ready for this to finish?
Jack Black's gonna chew up scenery. Alright, so listen. I think that there's a lot of immediate concern people have about this movie because there's not a wealth of video games to live-action movies that have worked in a great fashion. I mean, we can all refer back, whether it's the Super Mario Bros. Movie of the 90s, whether it was the Street Fighter movie of the 90s, whether it was the Double Dragon movie of the late 80s, maybe 90s. I mean, there's a lot that haven't worked. Several Mortal Kombats didn't work. I did like the first Mortal Kombat, and I like the most recent iteration of a Mortal Kombat live action. I thought that was pretty good. I'm interested in seeing how the sequel does with Carl Urban as Luke Cage. Now, Borderlands, listen, what's positive is that Eli Roth and his team, they have obviously played the game or at least have shown some interest in the game, because you could go through, and I think some people already have and have slowed down and looked at different shots of the trailer and saw the impressive detail put into it. And the thing that I always loved about the Borderlands game is that it's not just the singular story happening. It is the wealth of just NPC characters everywhere, because no matter where you are, what you're doing, someone's always saying something, and sometimes it is the most off-the-wall, outlandish stuff, especially from the outlaws that are out there. I mean, you have the different groups, and I'm interested to see what characters maybe aren't shown here and maybe reserved for a nice little cameo, or maybe being saved for a mid-credit or post-credit or end of the movie type scene. I've seen some people theorize that that there's a chance Eli Roth has built this to be just a succinct Borderlands movie without really any aspirations for there being a sequel. Because let's be honest, you would have to be very full of yourself, World of Warcraft, to think that you're going to just nail this arbitrary game niche audience for a much larger audience appeal, because it doesn't usually work out that way. I will say what is both the good, bad, is that they're trying to make this, whether they're doing it intentional or not, this comes off feeling very Guardians of the Galaxy, and that could work in their favor, because there's now a much more broader audience of people that understand, okay, if it's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, let's give it a shot. And yeah, I think if you incorporate some of the aspects that people love of the game, the hyper violence, the snarky sarcasm that is just everywhere, the dialogue, the naming of things, everything is just snarky dialogue for the most part, snarky humor in the Borderlands games itself. So I mean, yeah, it's going to incorporate that, and that's what Guardians of the Galaxy was for a lot of people. Weird creatures, weird humans, weird settings, weird weapons, weird things, and then sarcastic humor and a fun soundtrack, and then you just go from there. I like Jamie Lee Curtis being in this, and Jamie Lee Curtis is actually a fan of Borderlands, so I think that's hopefully a really good thing. I like that we get a little bit of moxie. I know there's other characters in there that we're going to see roll out that, you know, will hit the gaming audience way more than it hits the mass public when they watch this. I am cautiously optimistic. I'm excited to see what this can be, hopefully, and I would be remiss to say that I wouldn't be interested in having a full-blown trilogy or franchise of the Borderland movie set, but as a fan of the games, and specifically Borderlands 2, I loved Borderlands 2. I don't know how I feel about it. Looks like they're just kind of smushing the game stories together. They cherry pick some characters. You have Roland and Lilith, who we got to know from the first game, and then were incorporated into the second game as heavy, prominent characters as well. Claptrap's in there. Go Claptrap. Claptrap's going to be awesome. Jack Black is awesome. But then throwing in Tiny Tina and Krieg, you now have elements of other games being smushed together with this first game. So I am curious to see how it's all going to play out. I don't think that Handsome Jack is supposed to be a main villain in this, but it would be nice if he gets some kind of ominous, foreboding tease at the end, kind of like their version of the Joker, but it would be sarcastic and fun, and you wouldn't have to necessarily see his face, or maybe you don't necessarily see his true face anyways. You see his handsome face. But I would be excited, maybe some allusions to Angel. But I'm really interested to see what the Vault will look like. We got a little glimpse of it there at the beginning, but I want to know what the Vault Guardian will look like, whether it's the Warrior, who I most know because that is, again, who I played Borderlands 2 the most. So I'm excited. But I also have a feeling that this may not be a groundbreaking box office buster. And it's gotten really hard for movies to reach that point. It's not just something that can arbitrarily happen, right? Ever since 2020, you have to work for your box office return. And it's kind of easing up a little bit, but with the current setting of, economy, inflation, money, the world, and your home theater setup being maybe better than, or more preferred than an actual theater experience, it is going to be, I don't have the highest hopes for how it's going to turn out, but I want to, right? I want to. So I liked this trailer. It wasn't the most mind-blowing or awesome trailer. It didn't get me immediately, I wasn't completely jazzed up, but there's a lot of very interesting and relatable and familiar things in it. So I will give it an honest shot. So this trailer was good. It did not give me any worries. I worry about Cate Blanchett being cast, but she's an awesome actor, so maybe my worry is more shallow. I don't know. I thought Lilith. People have some issues with Kevin Hart being Roland, and it usually has to do with his height. And I guess my thing with Lilith is I always visualized her as being, more of a 20, 30 something. And no offense to Cate Blanchett at all. Like I'm not here to cast any aspersions to anyone's physical age or beauty. I don't know. I felt like is there not a younger actress that could have served that purpose and brought the same intensity? I said in the trailer and then kind of walked it back a little bit that Tiny Tina doesn't seem as chaotic as the Tiny Tina we get in the game, which I guess makes sense. I mean, for us that love the game, we've grown accustomed to this murder hobo small child, but that could be a really weird sell to the broader audience of, yeah, this girl's actually the craziest one of them all, and more murder happy than them. That may be a hard sell with the very general audience that is more puritanical in their indulgences. But yeah, I'll give this a shot. I'm excited to see what else comes out about this. But I think realistically, I clearly I have reservations for how things are going to go, but I would love to be proved wrong. What do you think about the Borderlands trailer? What do you think about the Borderlands movie? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!